Hello, my name is Harry Carter, President of TopLine Federal Credit Union. For the past 10 years, I've been very privileged to work with Paul Jacobsen in his role as a Supervisory Committee member and as a member of the Board of Directors of TopLine. I'm honored to host this tribute to Paul as Minnesota's 2009 Outstanding Volunteer of the Year. Paul and his family moved to a Wisconsin farm when he was 11 and returned to the Twin Cities in time for Paul to graduate from Blaine High School. From there, Paul credits his mother with urging him to try a stint in the military, and off he went to join the U.S. Air Force. He then went on to college, where he ultimately earned a master's degree in psychology. If anything has defined Paul along the way, it's active involvement. This has been his nature all his life. From a young age through today, he's been an active participant and volunteer in his church. As a young farm boy, he was active in 4-H. And in school, he participated in Future Farmers of America, drama, and sports. He went out for a variety of athletics, including wrestling, baseball, football, basketball, and track. Today, he remains an active sports participant, from organized softball to trying to return his wife's wicked backhand in tennis. Paul's first encounter with credit unions came 27 years ago when he says he nervously approached Kemp's Credit Union for his very first loan. For over an hour, a loan officer named Carl patiently explained everything about loans, a level of care and service Paul had never seen in his 12 years as a bank customer. From that point on, he was hooked on credit unions. It wasn't long before he found himself involved with the Kemp's Supervisory Committee, and he's been a very active credit union volunteer ever since. The Kemp's Credit Union merged with TopLine in the 90s. Today, Paul serves as Vice Chair of the TopLine Board and Chair of the Executive Committee. He is a genuine student of the credit union movement and routinely brings his extensive management experience to the board table to the continuous benefit of the credit union and its members. He also has been a regular participant in credit union events, including chapter meetings, state and national conferences, and political fundraisers. During all this time, and actually for the past 30 years, Paul has been a volunteer, first in the U.S. Air Force, and then in the Minnesota Air National Guard. Paul was activated to full-time Guard duty in October 2001, just weeks after 9/11. He was deployed on active duty for a full 2 years, not returning to the Twin Cities until October 2003. I remember getting a phone call from Paul on a Sunday afternoon in early October 2001, telling me that he'd been called to active duty. Of all the things that had to have been on his mind at that time, he thought to call and get word to his credit union board of directors. This is one of the best examples of what the credit union philosophy means to Paul. It means above all selflessness. It means continuously and consistently putting the needs of others first. This is evident not only in his uniformed service to his country, but in his belief in the cooperative model, where the needs of member owners always come first. During his 2-year deployment that took him to the Middle East as well as stateside bases, Paul remained an active and contributing member of the TopLine board. As soon as he was able, he would receive and review his board packets via email and contribute online. Whenever his duty location and schedule allowed, he would attend regular board and committee meetings by phone. Paul was promoted twice during his deployments. Today, as a lieutenant colonel, he is commander of the 210th Engineering Installation Squadron, which is permanently stationed at the Minneapolis-St. Paul Air National Guard Base. During the course of his deployments, Paul has been re-elected to the TopLine board and has served as board treasurer and now as board vice chair. He has kept his credit union volunteer service a continuing priority in the midst of his service to his country. Also during all this time, he has maintained a full-time civilian job as a middleware lead and software architect with Accenture, working at Best Buy headquarters in Minneapolis. But it's always obvious to everyone that nothing means more to Paul than his family. At the center of Paul's life are his wife Denise and his 3 children, April, Ryan, and Trevor. And surrounding them is one of the closest and, what a surprise, most active extended families you'll find anywhere. Whether it's weekly Saturday breakfast and Sunday church services, regular attendance at sporting events, or big weddings, anniversaries, or reunions, you'll find Paul in the middle of another big family gathering. In the volunteer tradition of America, Paul is a credit to the movement, to his uniform, to his community, and certainly to his large and loving family. You're an example for all of us, Colonel, and we all extend our heartiest congratulations on your very deserving selection as Minnesota's 2009 Outstanding Volunteer of the Year.